All right, so we've covered a lot of the basics. We have a lot of the basics down. What do I mean when I say we have the basics down? That means we've learned a lot of the simple basic points about pronunciation, and we feel comfortable, at least I hope you feel comfortable with a lot of those simple things. But now we need to practice a little bit some of the more difficult things. So I want to work in this video and the next video in some similar words. That means words that sound basically the same, almost the same, but are not the same. And first, how to hear those small differences. Second, how to say those small differences. So that's what we will be working on in this and the next lesson. Okay, so next we'll go over sounds that end in N or ing, the end of sounds. And we need to be careful because these really can sound very, very much the same. But there again, they are not the same. So let's do a simple example here. TH, THIN, and THING. This is a tough one to hear. Let me just say them both, and I won't say which one is first, and see if you can hear which one I'm saying. Okay? Here we go. Thing, thin, thing, thin. So actually I was saying THING first, and then I said THIN. So if you could hear that, nice job. So now let me talk a little bit about the difference between the two sounds. When you say ing, the ing sound here, the back of your tongue, way back there, comes up and touches the back of your mouth, the beginning of your throat. It must, every time you say ing. So, nga, nga, practice that. The back should say nga, nga. If you need to practice it, just do that many times. Nga, 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 nga. Practice it a lot. Okay, the other one, the N sound, we've learned, right? Remember when we make the N sound, our tongue is wide and against or around our teeth, and all of the sound comes out from our nose. So, thin, thin, thin. And this one, thing, thing, thing. It's not clear, very clear, because we don't make any sound after this one. It's the last sound, thing, and then we just stop. But actually, for this one, the sound is way back here at the end. And this one, THIN, is coming out through my nose. So if I say this one like this, thinga, thinga, you can hear that. You can hear that very easily, right? Thinga, thinga. This one, thin, thin, thinna, thinna. Now it's easy to tell. So it's the same thing, right? It's just that we have to cut those endings off. Thin, thing. Also, when we say this one, THING, it's a little bit more of a E sound instead of an I sound. When we say this one, thing, we kind of have to smile a little bit. Thing, thing. And this one, I. The I sound, the jaw out a little bit, thin, thin. So, let's do these. Thing, thin. Thing, thin. Thing, thin. Okay? Let's do a couple of other words that are kind of the same, but not only ing. RAN, RANG. SUN, SUNG. BOND, BONGED. Okay? So let's practice these really quickly. Next one. Rang, ran. Rang, ran. Now the difference here is the same. When I say RANG, I'm saying nga, the back of my mouth. Nga, nga, nga. It's happening the back of my tongue. Rang and ran, this one again is coming out of my nose. Ran, rang, ran, rang. Also, when I say rang, I say more of an A sound, the long A sound. A, rang. This one I say very clearly, the short A sound. Ah, ran, rang, ran, rang. Okay, the next one, the next two, S-U-N and S-U-N-G. Okay, so listen carefully. Sun, sung, sun, sung. Very difficult to hear these two. But again, the difference is the same. I'm saying the sound the same in this case. This one, which is why it's more difficult to hear. Because in these, this is the short, this is a little bit long, short, a little bit long, A. In this one, both are short. Sun. Again, the N is making the air go through my nose. This one, sung, sung. And if I continue that, I'll say sung, sung, nga. Okay, it's still going through my nose, but it's coming from the back. The sound is toward the back of my mouth. The next one, bond, bond. This one, bonged, bonged, bond, bonged, bond, bonged. This one, I'm again making the normal N sound, bon, coming through my nose, d, bond. This one, bong, back of the mouth, bonged, bonged. So the D sound is the same. The O sound is the same, ah. The only difference here is this one is very clearly the na sound, and this one is very clearly the ng sound. The ng sound. So let's go through these one more time. Thin, thing, ran, rang, sun, sung, bond, bonged. Okay? So practice those. If you can't hear them, then you need to improve your listening ability. So really try to focus on the sound. You should be able to hear a small difference. And then focus on making that sound. You should feel it differently when you say both words. All right, now let's really quickly go over some differences, some similar sounding words with differences for F and V, Now, this is the F and V sound, not only the letters F and V, right? Because sometimes the letter F makes the sound V. The first one, clearly an F sound. Now, we haven't really gone over the F sound carefully, so it's similar to the V sound, except you take out the voice, right? But it's basically the same thing. So, serve, surf. Which one did I say first? If you heard V first and then F, that's correct. Serve, surf. Serve, surf. Serve, surf. Okay, the difference is the end. When I say v, I'm using my voice. When I say f, I'm not using my voice. Pretty simple. Okay? Let's go on. Of, off, oven. Of, off, oven. Which one was first? This one was first. This one was second. This one was third. Of is actually the V sound, not the F sound. So I don't say of, I say of. It's almost like O-V-E. Of. Okay? O-F-F, very clearly the f sound. No voice. F, off. So, of, off. And now these two, O-F and O-V-E-N, these two, it's the same sound. The only difference is we add N to the end, right? Of, oven. Of, oven. Of, oven. At the end, of oven. Okay, so that's the only difference between these two. Actually, these two are more different than these two, even though it looks like they're more the same because this one only has one more F. The pronunciation is very different. Okay, the next one. Starve, staff, stave. Which one did I say first? I said this one first. then this one, then this one. So let's go over them really quickly. Starve, starve, starve. So here we have an R sound and a V sound. Arv, arv, arv. Starve. It's one syllable. Starve, not starve. Clearly, it's still one syllable, but we do have to make sure we continue the voice during this one. Starve, starve, starve. Staff, staff. So actually the last voice sound is here. Ah, and then just the F sound. Staff, staff. The next one, stave, stave, stave. So actually, this is short. This is short. This is long. This is the long A sound, right? R, R. This is not starve, right? It's starve. So this is short and this is short. But this is the long A sound. Remember, the long A sound is the name, A. Stay, stay, just like S-T-A-Y. Stave, stave. And then we just add the V sound, stave. So let's quickly go over these. Surf, serve, surf, serve. Off, of, oven. Staff, starve, stave. So practice these until you can easily get the differences, both listening and speaking. And again, remember, it's really important to have awareness, to be able to notice, pay attention to these small things. If you can't, you need to work on that before you can really, really master these. Okay, now, the next one should be pretty easy for you because we have carefully gone over the Z and TH difference. Okay, so we'll just go over these very, very quickly. The first one is sometimes confusing because people want to say this as a syllable. Actually, it's not. This is a one-syllable word. This is a one-syllable word. And actually, most native English speakers will say these two words exactly the same. Close, 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 close. So you can, and it's okay, say these words totally the same. No one will notice. It's okay. It's better that you do that than if you try to say clothes, right? Clothes is wrong. It's never right. So don't try to do that. Clothes and close. Now, actually, the correct pronunciation should have a very quick TH there. Very, very fast. And it's difficult to hear, but if you are able to do that, you can try. Clothes, 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 clothes. But that's pretty difficult to do. Okay, so the next three, I think you can handle pretty well. Pretty easy for you, probably. Breath, breathe, and breeze. Breath, breeze, and breathe. I did those out of order. It's okay. We'll figure it out. First one, don't make any voice here. No voice here. The next one, you want to do voice here. Th. Here is th. Here is th. And here is the Z sound. Just the Z sound. Okay, so not voice, voice, Z. Breath, breath, breathe, breathe, breeze, breeze. Breath, breathe, breeze. Let's go over all of these quickly. Clothes or close and close. Okay, you can do these the same or a little bit different with the clothes, a little bit. TH is okay. Again, C-L-O-S-E. You can use that pronunciation for both of them if you want to. The other one, breath, breathe, breeze. Breath, breathe, breeze. Just remember that the difference really is in the ending sound. All right? So in the next video, we are going to continue with similar sounding words.